this is one of the important questions, which, specifically from our company standpoint, where
Yes.
as we focus onto the incentive conference events
Correct.
part, and I totally understand. Roll Caribbean International stands out as an ultimate event destination, and I could read from the portfolio. The team back in Roll Caribbean headquarters, how can, if I'm having an incentive group, 100, 200, 300, in what all different ways can you strategically help us, companies such as us, in terms of building this group, and also that entire experience, which you probably have seen it with groups,
Yes.
large groups, small groups, or incentive groups and events. What are your talk through us in regards to that?
Yeah, I think a lot of corporations forget about cruising as an incentive meeting opportunity.
Yeah.
With Royal Caribbean, you have to have a minimum of 8 staterooms,
That's amazing. Yeah.
16 guests to be considered a group. So once you have that, you get complimentary access to our conference space.
That's
so you're not having to pay for that. So I think that is a difference between us and some other vendors out there. So we
Right.
offer the complimentary meeting spaces.
Right.
We can give group shore excursions. So we can create something specific towards your group, as whether it's a team building experience. As
Right.
you mentioned, you could do, rent the flow rider complimentary and just have your group doing the flow rider or rock climbing wall.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So there's definitely different opportunities
Sure.
there. And then you also earn points to kind of give back to the group, whether you wanted to offer them a complimentary bottle of wine into their stateroom,
Right. Cocktail hours.
or a cocktail hour. Absolutely. So most of the venue spaces on board the ship is something that you could arrange ahead of time
Sure.
by going to the ship's coordinator
Right.
and giving them an example. I have this group,
Sure.
it's 30 staterooms, 60 guests, let's
Sure.
say,
Mhm.
and we can host a private cocktail hour at the Star Lounge, where it's just exclusive to your group.
Right.
It's not open to the rest of the
Right.
ship.
That's
But going back to the meeting spaces, with the conference space on board,
right.
if they're wanting to do an award ceremony,
Right.
they can utilize the Royal Theater as long as it doesn't intertwine with our ship's onboard activities.
Okay.
So, sending that out to the events coordinator plenty of time to
Okay.
make sure that they can work with all of your requirements or your agenda.
Right.
But then we also are able to do dining experiences. If you wanted to rent out a specialty restaurant just for your group,
That is
you
possible.
can do that.
Right. Right.
So I think a lot of people have a misconception when
Yeah.
it comes to cruising of what you can actually physically do on board. It's
But
not
there's-
just a big white boat.
Right. Right.
It's an amazing ship destination that can accommodate singles all the way up
Right.
to groups.
Right. That's great, and so many activities, like you mentioned
Absolutely.
everything about it. So that is one of the great concepts that the cruise lines Royal Caribbean has, which is great. And I know about